Hello, everyone. Today we are taking a deep dive into the Wall Street Journal story, how Bezos learned to love Trump and win more contracts for Blue Origin. We are going to break down exactly what happened here and what the real risks are that every investor should know about. But before that, you are watching Decode Daily News, where we take the biggest business and finance stories and decode them so anyone can understand. If you are not subscribed yet, hit that button right now. So let us get into it. Okay, so rewind with me to 2017 for a second. Can we break up Amazon? Sit with that question for a second. That is a sitting president asking his own aide how to dismantle a private company. Not because of antitrust concerns, not because of some policy paper, just because he was angry. That should tell you something about how personal this entire relationship has always been, and it did not stop at just breaking things up. I hate this son of a bitch, Jeff Bezos, and I hate the Washington Post. Now that is not boardroom language. That is personal. This is not politics as usual. This is a grudge. And when the person holding that grudge controls government contracts worth billions, that grudge becomes a business risk overnight. Fast forward to now, and the numbers tell a completely different story. Blue Origin's overall obligations under Trump's current administration have reached $1.1 billion. And that gap is not random. Almost matching 4-year worth of numbers from a different president in a fraction of the time. That is not a coincidence. That is a company that figured out the game and started playing it. Compared with nearly $1.2 billion during the entire 4-year Biden administration. That is not incremental. That is a different business entirely. Blue Origin's average annual contracts under Trump grew 177% from the annual average under Biden. Read that again slowly. 177% growth is not organic. That is not better engineering or cheaper rockets. That is access. And access is the one variable most investors completely ignore when they look at a stock like this. Here is the part most people are missing, though. In recent months, Trump has told advisors that he wanted to see Bezos get to the moon with his rocket company, Blue Origin, and make sure it gets related contracts, people familiar with the remarks said. That line alone should make every investor pause, because when a company's biggest growth driver is one man's personal preference, that growth can disappear just as fast as it showed up. Preferences change, relationships sour. We have literally watched it happen once already between these two. Now connect the dots with me. This is not a company winning on merit alone. This is a company whose fortunes are tied to staying in one man's good graces. That is a fragile kind of advantage. There is one more piece of this that ties it all together. That fall, the Post decided not to endorse a presidential candidate and scuttled the piece backing Harris. And Trump noticed, a newspaper owned by the same man running the rocket company just happened to go quiet at exactly the right moment. Maybe that is a coincidence. Maybe it is not. But timing like that does not go unnoticed by anyone paying attention. Trump was thrilled, advisors said, and later thanked Bezos, one of the people said. That is not a coincidence. That is cause and effect. And that is the part that should sit uncomfortably with anyone watching this from the outside. So, that is exactly where my take comes in. But real quick before I give you my take, this video is for educational purposes only, not financial advice. Always do your own research before making any investment decisions. So what concerns me here is not that a company is winning contracts. Companies lobby. Companies build relationships. That is normal business. What concerns me is how much of Blue Origin's growth story now depends on the mood of one person in one office. If you are looking at Blue Origin or Amazon through this lens, ask yourself a simple question. How much of this growth is durable, and how much of it evaporates the moment the relationship changes? Because it has changed before, and it can change again. This is not a reason to panic. It is a reason to separate the fundamentals from the favor. One of those is real value. The other is borrowed time. Politics is not a business strategy. It might work for a while, but it is not something you can build a decade-long thesis on. If this breakdown helped you see the story differently, hit like and subscribe for more of these deep dives. And here is my question for you in the comments. Do you think Blue Origin's growth is built on real capability, or is it built on one relationship that could end tomorrow? Let me know what you think.